Hello, everyone. I've been asked many times if I could show how I do my collage. This isn't exactly, but I kind of do it different all the time. I have two or three different styles that I do the most. Um, but this is one I'm working on right now, so I thought this would be the best way to get started. This is Tim Holtz portfolio that I'm working on. This is it so far. These are all my painting papers. I took a file folder, a clear one, and made a pocket. I stitched it on. My thread broke 3 times, so I'm thinking it doesn't like to sew through the portfolio. And anyway, it's pretty cool. And I just stitched paper across the top. This is a copy of one of my collaged envelopes. So, and then this is the inside. It's not done yet. I'm still working on it. This is the inside and all the tags. I got to do a little more to it, and I put some fibers on the tags. And I realize now why I don't do very many tags. I don't like putting fibers on them and messing with that. But I'm going to, because this is going to the auction. So I just wanted to start you off with seeing this. This part is okay. I'm done with it. But these parts, I haven't done all the details on. So it's going to have a little journal that fits in there. And this is what I'm working on. I know the camera doesn't like the white, but I don't like to glue on my mat because then the whole thing gets messy. So all I did is I took painting papers. Oh, and these little books are going to be in that book too, in the pockets. And these are just pockets or pages of painting papers and stuff, images, just junk paper sewed together. That's all painting and fun. They're both just kind of the same, but different, of course. So I am going to work on this one. And what I do is I've got them all torn. And then I'm just going to glue down. Not all of my painting papers do I do double-sided, but a lot of them I do because you never know for sure what you're going to need or want. So I think I'm going to put this one on this way. And I do try to, I'm not worried whether they touch exactly, or I just try not to overlap. And then I take and I trim it down. If the piece is big enough and I don't use the little white ends, then I'll put it somewhere else because it's already got glue on it. And I mean, this is just how I'm doing this book. I will try to do another one a little more different in what people, in the style people have been seeing that brought the questions. That's how I should say that. Basically, this is all there is to it, is just figuring out, you know, what I want to put there. And they don't have to be strips. I'm going for strips because they're bigger and it's faster. And I have really put off finishing this book for way too long. So I'm just going to do this right there because that's where that one stopped. No other reason, just because. And I think I'll just put this one right over here. There we go. Now I do outline everything and I add lots more doodles on it. Very seldom, right now I am, but very seldom do I audition things to go in here. I just do it. I'm using my favorite glue stick, the Scholastic glue stick. They're purple. With school starting here in a few months, hopefully, maybe. These will be on sale at your local Staples. That's the best place to get them. It's the cheapest place to get them. And I love them. I never had a glue stick that I've liked as well. But it comes with my rule for gluing is burnish. And a little heat never hurt anything either. So after I know it's down, I'll take my hand and rub it down. But you got to be generous with the glue and burnish. And now I have this little piece here. So let's see if this one would be really good, I think. See, generous with the glue. And yes, they're little sticks. They don't come in a big stick, but I don't think that I go through them that fast. Sometimes maybe, but most of the time I don't feel like it's that fast. And when they're little pieces and you go to burnish them, sometimes you got to hold on to some place because they want to slide and move. And I just snip off the little white parts. I know I left some white there, but I'm going to fix that. Because just how I lay it down doesn't mean that's how it's going to stay. And your fingers get pretty sticky along the way. I don't really want a tiny piece on the edge, so I'm going to scoot that over. And since these are the same, I think I'll just make that a little wider spot. I do try to think about what goes where when it's something small like that. I'm going to go ahead and come back over to here because I'm getting stripes here. And these are all the little pieces. So let's put a few bigger pieces. I did try to use a different glue stick the other day. And it was clear. And I just kept going and going. It's like, how do I know if it's there? Most of my painting papers are done on a deli papers, copy paper, or True construction paper, which I just love because it's thin for collage, but it holds up really well. And I'm only cutting off the essentials right now. There's always going to be time to do that when it's good and dry. Oh, I think we need some of this one. Perfect fit. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and stop right here because I kind of wanted to make it just short and to the point. I will do more, I promise. But I want to show you what I do to get this to look like what everybody's asking about. And these are my iCads. This is what brought it all on, is these little things. So I want to show you how I do that. Okay, I had to step out for a minute. What I'm going to do is just this little part that I have done. I'm going to go ahead and show you what I do. And I outline everything. There's a fuzzy on my marker with my black Posca pens. Even the rough, funky edges. And I don't worry whether it's perfect or not. I just outline. Oh, Darn, I messed up. Can you see that? Let me zoom in just a little bit. I messed up. My lines went over, and that's okay, because that's where you get some of your extra detail. Because I leave these for a moment, and I'll come back to them, and I do one of two different things. This one here, I'm going to go ahead and color it in. This one, because this line comes out here and doesn't make it a little grouping, I'm going to put a dot on it, put a couple lines, and as I continue outlining, I'll pick an image in my painting papers and I'll just add some lines. I don't necessarily try to make anything from them. Occasionally that happens, but it's not what's planned. And because this one is, I'm not sure, I'm trying to decide. I believe it is a real painting paper. There's possibly a few copies of painting papers in here, but these are all originals. But especially on a copy, I will do something like this and enhance the lines, and I will add a few extra things. I will make a division, whereas this right here, I made the division of looking like there's more than one piece. And right here where it's orange and yellow, I will make that a line too, so it looks like it's a piece. So I don't really put as many pieces in sometimes, but I do make it look that way. And now I'm just going in, and if you notice, most of my doodles are circles and lines. And then I go get my other Posca pens, and my fine lines are in the other room, and I'm just not going to get up and go get them. So I'm just going to do this, and then I will smear it. Sometimes I do and sometimes I don't, but for some reason my finger's really dirty. So I guess we won't be smearing too much. Just going to add a few bits of color here and there, different colors. Like up here in this white, I'm going to do this and then just blend it so it's got a painterly look. Another thing I found out, purely accidental, and maybe everybody else already knew this, but okay, so we're going to go with this right here. And my water's dirty, but you can get that to blend out and be really, really awesome. And there's still some on there, so I'm just going to add a little color. And that's just using the pens. This was a recent discovery on my part, so it's kind of cool for me. So that's kind of what I do. I go in and I just add more marks and more fill-ins and a few blends. And I don't usually stop. I just keep going. That person, whoever said less is more, doesn't know me very well. So, okay, back to these lines here that are kind of open. I'm going to go ahead and fill that one in with orange, and this one too. And it's not very good, but that's okay, because what I have planned is I'm going to come back in here and re-emphasize that line, but now it's got a little orange spot. I'm hoping you can see this okay. Now I zoomed and I got to get it back in the right spot. And me and the camera just never can line up. I just never know what it's supposed to be done. Okay, so I'm going to take the purple for this little piece right here and turquoise for this bigger piece right here. And then I go back in and fix any black lines I may have covered. See, I think outlining just fixing multitudes of sins. That little smear I had there, I'm going to fix that like that. And, oh, I missed yellow. And if you notice, I have like a zillion different colors in here. And that's just the way I roll. Put a little more yellow up here. And my new favorite thing is and I'm not even sure if you can still get them because I've had this for a long time, is adding the fluorescent pink in there and the fluorescent yellow. I just love, did I get that? Okay, no, maybe. So anyway, I just really like it, and it kind of puts a little pop in a lot of different places. Again, you can blend that like paint. Excuse me. I'm going to change those white lines to the neon yellow and just add a little bit of yellow here and there. And I think we'll take the green because I haven't used it yet. And I'll fill these in. And I see a black line I need to fix. Okay, so I filled in those little things with some added color, and I will take and put some dots in it or some stripes. And then I take the white, and this is my biggest thing, is there has to be something black and white in every piece I do. And I just take something that's got a big chunk of black, and that's where I put my little white dots, or I might do stripes. This one's going on the blue, and just do a little bit of detailing. Okay, I'm back. You didn't know I was gone, but hey, that's okay. So we glued on, and now we're ready for the part I think is the coolest. There's several different things you can use. This is a pastel pencil in a brown. This is a Stabilo pencil. You can also use the Stabilo Woodies, which are not really any different than the other ones. The Stabilo pencil here. Excuse me, I dropped my pastel pencil. And if you want, you can use a pencil. I like to use something with a soft, heavier lead, and a blending stump. But it doesn't have to be all those things. It can be a tissue. It can even be your finger. It's just, there's just a lot of things you can use. So what I do is I take, I'm going to show you the difference. I'm going to do the Stabilo pencil right here. And this still needs a little more doodling because this is not nearly enough for me. Okay, I did that one, and then I'll do the pastel pencil and just down one side. And I know that when you do the normal shading, you should light source and all that. That's just not what's going on here. Because there's glue here, the pencil's not wanting to go. So we're going to go back to the Stabilo, but I'm going to do the brown. And then I'm going to take a tiny paintbrush And on the Stabilo, I'm just going to get it a little bit wet. I don't want it, I could actually blend this out a whole lot more, and it would be, because there's a lot of stuff there, but I don't want to get it too big. The black always has a lot of shadow and shading, and I think this is what gives it its depth. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe it's just my eyes. I'm going to do this on the white here just so you can see it, but of course I'm going to cover that up. That's just the dark pencil, a heavy duty pencil, and then this is a graphite pencil of just, it's one of those woodless ones. And I just do that. You can take your blending stump and blend it out, just like you can do with the charcoal, or not charcoal, pastel. I'll put that right here. And I don't worry if I'm in the right spot, if I'm right up next to my line, because it blends in and up. And see, you can tell the difference in what I haven't done over here and what I have done. And I think, in my opinion, that's what makes it. You know, everybody's got different styles, but this is what I do. And I can't ever say it's finished, because any of my journals that are done this way, I still come back in and let's draw some of this. And I also like to do scallops. But if you look, most of them are lines and circles. The circle might get elongated and become an oval. The lines might be wavy. I mean, on this one, there was some stamp marks there. I'm just enhancing them, making them a little more solid. And anytime my pencil goes where I don't want it, I just add another mark and make it look like it's supposed to be that way. Any mark. And it all looks good. And a lot of times I do this before it, I do this after it. I just like to take a pencil and just make some scribble marks. Sometimes they show up good and sometimes they don't. But that is basically how I did this. So thanks for watching. I hope this helped.